The following content has been generated with artificial intelligence under minimal human supervision. The data presented may contain errors or inaccuracies. The opinions expressed in this content do not necessarily reflect the vision, position, or values of DigiAll. We recommend verifying critical information with additional sources before making decisions based on this content.
Welcome to DigiAll Tech News. Today is Thursday, July 2nd, 2026. I'm Kylie Brooks, and this is where technology becomes clear and engaging. Elon Musk is pushing back hard on a WSJ report that SpaceX showed a prototype AI handset to investors before an IPO. Meta is planning a cloud infrastructure business that would sell access to its AI compute and models to outside customers. Palantir CEO Alex Karp is attacking token-based AI pricing as enterprises look harder for measurable returns. Anthropic has launched Claude Science in beta, an AI workbench designed to bring fragmented research tools into one auditable environment. President Trump briefly spoke with an AI-generated Theodore Roosevelt during the new Presidential Library's opening events in North Dakota. Let's start with the SpaceX story, because this is exactly the kind of AI hardware rumor that can move attention before the facts are settled. Musk posted on X that the Wall Street Journal report was, quote, utterly false, end quote. The report said SpaceX had shown investors and stakeholders a handset-like prototype with a proprietary operating system, AI technology, and Qualcomm Snapdragon chips, while also describing the project as early stage and not certain to be built. That matters because SpaceX is already pushing beyond launches, and Starlink's satellite internet into AI infrastructure, Grok, and space-based computing. Reuters has also reported that SpaceX was planning a Starlink-connected mobile device, and Musk said in January that a Starlink phone was not out of the question at some point. So the real question is not whether we should treat a SpaceX phone as confirmed. We should not. It is whether the AI assistant hardware race is now so strategically important that even an unconfirmed prototype report becomes part of the competitive story. Now to Meta, where the AI infrastructure bill may be turning into a business plan. Meta is developing plans to sell access to its AI computing power and models to outside customers, which would put it in direct competition with AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud. The key phrase is excess capacity. Meta has been aggressively securing expensive data centers and infrastructure for its own AI ambitions, and this effort would try to monetize some of that capacity, rather than keep it purely internal. In practical terms, Meta would be moving from building AI infrastructure for Facebook, Instagram, and Llama into offering part of that stack as a cloud service. That could help offset huge infrastructure costs and add another supplier to the market for AI compute. But planning is not the same as launch. The hard part will be whether Meta can operate a trusted third-party cloud business without distracting from its core platforms and model development. Here is the enterprise AI pricing fight in one blunt sentence. Alex Karp says something has gone completely wrong. On CNBC's Squawk Box, the Palantir CEO criticized the token model used by OpenAI and Anthropic, saying companies are being asked to, quote, chillax and waste my time with tokens, end quote, as newer frontier models become much more expensive. His pitch is that enterprises and governments should care less about raw token consumption and more about owning their data, compute, models, and what he called alpha. Palantir is tying that message to open-weight models, a newly expanded NVIDIA partnership for custom AI tools for US government agencies, and a 9-point manifesto on AI sovereignty. The market noticed Palantir shares rose 8% after the comments. The bigger issue is a real buyer frustration. Closed frontier models can be convenient and powerful, but cost and control are becoming boardroom concerns. Open-weight and sovereign AI systems may offer more ownership, though customers still have to prove they can deliver the performance and return on investment they are paying for. Anthropic's Claude Science launch is one of the more concrete examples of AI being built around professional workflows, instead of just chat. The beta brings tools for genomics, single-cell analysis, proteomics, structural biology, cheminformatics, and related fields into one workbench. It includes a generalist coordinating agent with more than 60 curated skills and connectors, specialist agents that researchers can create, and a reviewer agent designed to check citations, calculations, and figure fidelity. What stands out is the focus on auditability. Outputs include exact code, environment details, plain language descriptions, and the full message history, which is important because reproducibility is not optional in science. The system can run on a laptop, Linux, HPC through SSH, or modal on-demand GPUs without moving sensitive data, and it integrates NVIDIA's BioNeMo agent toolkit and models including Evo 2, Boltz 2, and OpenFold 3. Beta access is available for Claude Pro, Max, Team, and enterprise users, with discounts for academic and nonprofit labs, and up to 50 AI for science projects receiving $30,000 in Claude credits plus up to $2,000 in modal compute. Early examples include Manifold Bio, using it to nominate tissue-targeting drug candidates, and Allen Institute neuroscientist, building a 20-skill system that produced more than 100-page reviews in weeks, rather than up to 2 years, and a UCSF epidemiologist accelerating glioma susceptibility analysis by roughly 10 times. The promise is serious productivity with a paper trail. The real test is how well those reviewer agent safeguards hold up when the work gets novel, messy, and proprietary. Finally, a smaller but revealing use of AI in public history. During a tour of the new Theodore Roosevelt Presidential Library in Medora, North Dakota, President Trump briefly spoke with an AI-generated version of Roosevelt. The digital Roosevelt delivered a scripted line about presidential resilience, and Trump called the words fantastic while reflecting on the honor of the moment. The visit also included Roosevelt's journals and a gallery featuring the Man in the Arena speech, followed by remarks at the Burning Hills Amphitheater, where Trump praised Roosevelt's life and highlighted the Panama Canal. He also announced a $750,000 national endowment for the Humanities Grant for the library's inaugural exhibits. What makes this notable for tech listeners is not that the exchange was technically detailed, it was ceremonial, but it shows how AI can become part of the way institutions stage history, memory, and leadership for the public. When a historical figure can speak back, even briefly, and from a script, the experience changes from looking at an archive to interacting with a performance. Today's thread is control. Control over AI hardware narratives, cloud capacity, enterprise costs, scientific workflows, and even how historical figures are presented through synthetic media. The technology is moving quickly, but the value still comes from what can be verified, audited, and used responsibly. Thank you for staying informed with Digital Tech News. We'll be back with more updates as they develop.